You know, my youngest especially is like, you know, he gets so upset by the litter, so upset. And, you know, what are we going to do to these people, you know? And so the explanation was, you know, it's not about what we're going to do, it's how we're going to help and how we're going to love. And if everybody does so, then things will change and, you know, everyone together. And so that whole concept he was trying to get into his head. So it's you know, they're all just so willing. And actually, my youngest sat him down yesterday. He was quite happy to, and played him one of C's tracks. And he was just like, he was literally, I was like, how is it? He was like, so cool, you know. He was just like really, really quite into it and really enjoying it. So, yeah.
What, when you say C's tracks, what are you referring to? Hey, Harmony?
One of the tracks that she posted on WhatsApp.
Ah, yes. Oh, those tracks are beautiful. Kerry, we're acknowledging you again for those tracks that you posted.
Dennis.
Hello, Kerry.
Hello.
We were just acknowledging you again for the tracks. Ash was saying that her little ones were listening to it and were also like loving it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So welcome everybody to our day 11. So this actually officially means that today we're just on over the halfway mark. It's so appropriate that today's theme is Feel to Heal. We actually had a meeting with Janice and Kerry last night, and then as the meeting was finished, we ended up having a rather fascinating run-in with the security. They had locked the car, my hearty car, they'd locked the wheel, clamped the wheel for not parking in an appropriate spot. And Dawn and I were just digesting it again now, and I really get like how perfect it is for the theme, because there's this really discerning dance between feeling whatever the honored feeling is at that moment, and really like my feeling went from, okay, but brother, this is clearly a misunderstanding. If we had known the rules, we wouldn't have done this. We didn't park anywhere, you know, really trying to be caring and kind. And then this guy saying, well, I don't even have the keys. And then I'm like, well, how are we going to get out of here? And then Dawn like really honoring her rage and like fully like going straight to him and like, who do you think you are? What do you think? Just let us go home. Ta-da! And then and then me coming back down again and him saying, if you just give me the 200, then I'll give you the keys. So I'm like, you have got the keys. And I'm like, then my stuff comes up. So it was just this really like very, very, very real moment of unfolding emotion. Feel to heal, feel to heal, feel to heal. And then we digested it last night, and then we digested it again this morning a bit. And I said, so there's two big things that are coming up for me. One is it's a discerning dance to honor when it's appropriate to feel to heal. And in some cases it is that moment with him and him having to deal with the impact of his lack of integrity for lying and all the rest. Maybe. But the other side of it is a consciousness of we are supposed to be human beings, not animals. So we need to check that we're not just doing the default animal response of fight, flight, freeze. It's an animal response. Human beings have the ability to evolve past that animal response. In fact, it's been scientifically proven that we can, when we reprogram ourselves away from the fear context into the love context, we can absolutely not have any fight, flight, freeze response. So there's this dance, and I really see it. It's like sometimes it's really important to honor that feeling and heal it. I feel now, as I've been through the other side of it, there was learning for me, because I went into fight, I went into flight. I left with flight. I didn't even greet him when I left. I was just like, step you in your poo bum. That's how I felt.
So I'm, listening here to the taking the higher ground. I'd also just wish to open the floor, because my experience of it was I was listening to Nikki trying to reason with this man and just being met from his side by more and more bullshit. And then I got to a point where I'd had enough and met him in a language which he seemed to understand, and that was the language of anger. And I'm just wanting to check in with you ladies, like, when in a confronting situation, what are you finding works in being able to get somebody to respond, or to get somebody to just change action, or to be heard? So this is me opening up vulnerably.
So I think exactly that. If you're approaching somebody and there is a bit of a moment, I find with me is the way that they react is the way that I will. So if you decide to take a step back and maybe try the reasoning thing, but if it's not happening, I probably would have reacted just like you, Dawn. I kind of meet exactly how it works. I would suggest is not that, is rather to take a step back and try and approach it from a different direction. But it's easier said than done in the moment.
So I said to Dawn, there's a level of compassion that I really get as well, because that animal instinct to be like, fine, you want to bring that? Let's bring it. Okay. That instinct, we like asked, okay, so in our feel to heal honoring, which is our theme for today, which is our theme today, so it's perfect, right? We move through emotion and we feel heal. I have this spiritual context that says my personal feel to heal should be my personal feel to heal. I shouldn't karmically create anything further and making my personal feel to heal impact any other human being, even if they're, and especially if they're in their bullshit.
But isn't that why we have people as mirrors in our life, so that we can be having these experiences together?
Totally. I get this. This is why I'm saying this is such a perfect thing for us to be digesting today. Also, there's this compassion as well. Like I said to Dawnie, I was like, okay, what triggered that animal response? Because that animal response comes out with, I'm threatened, right? So the threat was, even though we were at friend's house, but we could have stayed at them if there really was no key, it was, I need to go home. I have a webinar that hasn't gone out yet. I need to get home. I was in that kind of like, there is an urgency for me and you're not seeing eye to eye.
I hear you, but for me, it wasn't so much, it wasn't the urgency, is that he was being non-cooperative. He wasn't giving us a choice. So he said, in order for you to go, you need to pay a fee. And then, and we were like, okay, cool. And then will you unlock the wheel of the car? He was like, no, I don't have the key. So in that moment, Nixa, I feel you, in that moment, I felt prisoned. I felt unjustly prisoned, because what I was doing wasn't illegal. I didn't obstruct anybody's way. There were no signs around. And we were trying to cooperate with him. No, not trying, because we were cooperating with him, going, cool, we'll organize the cash. Will you unlock the wheel? No. So it's being cornered.
So it's interesting. I'm finding myself looking at the macrocosmos of this. So guys, consider, as conscious women in our future world, we are going to deal with obstructions. We're going to deal with some corporations. They're going to have their arms folded and go, whatever.
We don't care.
We don't care. That's your story. You friggin' hippie corporate people that want to try and change the world. They don't change the world. We're making money. So, no, and this is real, right? So, like I said to Dawn, this is why I think it's a discerning dance. We need to be constantly checking whatever we need to be checking to find the ways. And in some cases, it does perhaps need to be impactful. If I think of the body, I know that doctors have taught me that the immune system are these fighter cells. Well, a friend who is also a doctor explained to me that actually very rarely does the immune system actually fight. the immune system actually transforms. The immune system goes in and goes, you're a cell that's not behaving correctly. Let's make you into something different. And only if it doesn't, which is what Dawn did, does the immune system go, now you're a stinky pimple. Out with you.
But with that also being said, is that the anger wasn't personal. At no point was there a personal accusation. You don't know what you're doing. How dare you do this? It wasn't a personal thing. It was like, brother, we're wanting to cooperate with you, okay? But this is what's going on. So the anger, I feel, wasn't directed at the person. It was directed at the situation.
And okay, so that's also good. So again, translating that into the Feel to Heal theme for today as well. We are going to have moments in our lives where these kind of things are going to happen, and it's our responsibility that we get to continually practice. Both Dawn and I really value what happened, because it was so perfect again for the theme today. It was so perfect in actually even the completion of the receive, because we gave Janice 200 and then she gave us 200. It was just, look, this is the magic, I think, of the truth and the integrity. You know, Dawn and I don't put ourselves onto a pedestal. We're human beings holding space for you guys. That's all. And us. You know, so it's wonderful to actually witness that we can allow our human form to unfold, and also for us all to expand and grow through that as well.
So I'd like to offer and open up the floor now, is that if you've got feedback as to how we could have handled the situation differently, I would appreciate it, actually. You know, maybe you've got a personal experience of dealing with somebody who's not cooperating and feeling that you're threatened and in the corner. I'm a Scorpio, so you put me into a corner and you threaten me, my tail comes out proper. But I've had to learn how to use my tail. In this situation, I feel that I didn't kill the victim, but I did administer a slight bit of poison to go, you come a bit too close here. I feel that I used the tail responsibly last night, but please, feedback. I'm here to learn as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Harmony.
I think that you all handled it, of course, the way that you, I guess your natural instincts would handle it. Like you just said, you're a Scorpio, you gave a little venom. Okay, let's see where we go from here. I'm a Virgo, so I'm very analytical, you know, and it's like, you bring that to me, I would begin to analyze the entire situation with the gentleman or with the woman. Like, okay, so let me get this right. You want me to give you 200 and you will unlock my will, and no. Not so much whatever your situation is. I probably fully don't understand it. However, for me, in any type of situation where there may present an aggressive type of situation, I would analyze it for the both of us, like make it an exchange where we both come to the rationalization that this is clearly not going to work, or it may clearly work, you know, so that we're both on the same page. 200 to your hand that we can go, or however way things are, then you got what you want, I got what I want. Now let us go. You know, allow for everyone to have an understanding of what is at hand, what is at stake. And I don't know if you can act in that moment to be analytical at that time. It's going to be like, oh, just go head on. Thank you. That's what I wanted to, you know, get from this, because I'm acting with my back up against the wall at this time. So the only thing that I know is I don't want anybody aggressively coming towards me or me coming towards them. And so I can protect my field. So the only way that I can protect my field is just bring logic to the entire situation. It's like, I don't get it, you know, not so much make the person feel silly, but allow them to really walk through the entire process of what things are going on. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And again, this is so beautiful because there's, the moment by moment unfolding, and then there's the learning, and may we always continue to learn. Thank you, Harmony. Anybody else?
Well, I'm a lion, so my natural instinct is to attack first and not ask any questions. And the whole way through Soul Circus, I'm going to take the moral high ground. And last night, this is classic, because we were speaking about it last night, and the victim, the aggressor, and the rescuer, and I was speaking about a partnership or a person and saying they're the victim and the aggressor, and they'll never be the rescuer. And then they had to become the rescuer this morning just before this webinar. And Dawn was saying it's okay to be angry, and I was accused of acting like a spoiled brat. And then I was like, what? Spoiled brat? Well, I can do better than that. I'll show you. And I was like, right into this massive anger. Eventually, I was talking to myself eventually. The phone was down after an argument, and Kerry was saying, are you speaking to yourself? And I said, yes. I couldn't think of any more swear words to say, so I was just repeating the same word again and again. And she said, well, Dawn said it's okay to be angry, and we thought it's absolutely classic when we were saying aggressive victim, and Dawn said, very calmly, just wait. And that's exactly what happened this morning. Amazing. And it just sparked something in me that I don't want that person to behave like a rescuer, and it made me incredibly angry. And then I've only analyzed it afterwards. So it was just like that attack first. Up until now, I stepped back and I said, no, I feel better, I'm more at peace. But I think there comes a time when you need to adapt your behavior. That to suppress things and you're thinking you're feeling more at peace, it actually is cleansing to get everything out.
Sorry about that. Oh. Sorry, hang on. Somebody's trying to. No calls, you people. This is not time for calls.
So yeah, the adapting of the behavior. I think today as well, thank you, Janice, for reminding me about the codependency. I think I'll just feel into last night's situation and find out if that was a codependent, if it was a codependent situation. I need to find out right now if it's my ego self or my higher self going, no, because it wasn't personal, but I have to be honest and just digest this now, because the codependency seems to be a theme at the moment. It has been a theme in my life, in a relationship that I'm currently in, whatever it is. So I just wanted to check in with that.
Yeah, so amazing that really, again, that the honoring, we go through waves in this Soul Circus journey. Like, yesterday everybody was commenting on how joyous we were feeling. I feel very joyous, and I feel super blessed to be part of this program and with you all. And at the same token, I also really honor that these themes kind of start really self-fulfilling. So today's Feel to Heal, to really honor that and keep checking for yourself. Okay, cool. This feeling is there. I'm submerging myself in that and working through that. I would really love to sort of sway the conversation a little bit as well, and just check in with anybody and everybody. Is there anything that you've been noticing in your self journey, that as you allow and honor the feeling to be there, that it can pass through and be a bit like a cloud and doesn't have to take over? Yeah, Noah.
I think this is just coupled with your feeling of a bad moment. So when you have that don't define it as it's not a bad day. I mean, this was just before the webinar, and I'm feeling great. So that's just a bad moment, and moving on.
So I always get this picture. We'll come to you now, Harmony. I always get this picture of us as children in a playground. When I was a little girl and I was grumpy, I'd be grumpy. Be like, you're not playing nicely. You're being mean. I don't like the way you're playing. And then I would go off, and then they could come and play even another game if they started to play nicely. Or if I hurt myself, I'd fully cry. And then, oh, cool, there's a new game. Okay, I'm going to go now. We honored our feelings.
Well, we allowed them to pass through.
Kerry, sorry.
So
No.
I really, I really felt it on Monday when I had my breakdown, when I had my day of crying and feeling low. Well, it wasn't really a day; it was a moment, and I think for me it felt really powerful. The old me someone would ask how I was, and I'd say I'm great, I'm fantastic, but inside I'd be not great at all. So it was always covering up, putting on this, this act of being fine, being happy. And then I got feedback yesterday from my class. They'd never seen me like that. Because when they asked how I was, I fully owned it. I was like, I'm feeling low. I'm feeling sad. And I can feel it right here. I can literally feel it in my chest. This is where it hurts. And then it passed. It was like, letting it bubble up to the surface and dissolve. Whereas acknowledge it. Also, otherwise, this is my tendency, or the old me. I used to just suppress, and then a volcano eruption would come off at someone at some point. So I've just noticed that in my behavior, really owning when someone asks you how you are, not just fine, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that, and really being truthful to yourself about it.
Nice. Thank you. Harmony.
Yes, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was on a call with a friend, and we were talking. I haven't really talked to this friend maybe a few months before I traveled overseas, and just to catch up with her, she recently just had a really major surgery, so I was just talking to her, and we have a mutual friend, and I was just asking her, how are you doing? How's your health and wellness going? How is, all of those different dance around, not so much the question or what's really going on with you, but just to really engage with the individual. So she was just talking to me about a few things, and she mentioned our mutual friend. And I was like, oh, okay, well, how is she doing? I haven't spoke to her in a few months. The last time that I spoke to her was back in April. And she said some very, very disrespectful things about me. Now, I don't know if these things are true or, nothing was ever said to me. So, she said, oh, yeah, she mentioned you. She went directly into, oh, yeah, she mentioned you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's unfortunate. I can't understand that I am the topic of someone's conversation in a negative fashion where you're pumping that much energy of negativity regarding who it is that I am into the universe. And it made me so angry at the time. And, I said a few choice words. I said, it's unfortunate. She's just like her mother and blah, blah, blah. I said these things, and then I thought about it. And I said, well, what is the point of me manifesting a better individual or working towards being greater or going over planting trees and rocking out with so many cool spirits and souls on this planet, and I'm still coming back pumping into the same institution that I'm trying to remove myself away from. So it took me a lot of hours. I would say until maybe this past night, I did a meditation, and in the guided meditation, it was about love and surrounding love around your heart and around your energy field and around the people, that you care about and that you love. So I began to send her love, because what I would want to do next is give her a call and be analytical with her. Like, okay, so let's break this down. You mean to tell me that months later you've never come to me, and each time I've asked to talk to you, I don't have time to do that? Or anything that you want to talk about, Harmony, we could talk about anything. So when I bring up these different types of topics, you feel that you're above me in some type of way. You're just trying to manage me because you're a professional manager in the corporate world. You just want to give me a manager's response and flee me off. No, you can't flee me. But for me at this time, I've just been sending her love because it's been really cancerous to me over these past few days. I saw that I was like really fighting with my thinking, like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then it's like, okay, wait, no, you got to change. This is a thought right here. You got to let it, poof and disappear. So it's been a lot of mental work and emotional work and spiritual work that I feel that it's unnecessary. It's like, why do I have to do that with a person? I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
it's perfect. It's perfect harmony.
Yeah.
I want to honor you for that, because you did a full 360 process in it. And the reality is, it's a little bit, again, like the story of last night, right? We are still going to deal with people who are unconscious and who are doing whatever they're doing, right? So they're bullies in the world. And I know from 13 years of doing care clowning that the bullies are just perpetuating the cycle that they know. And the only way that they are going to learn is through people being bold enough to actually have those conversations, and for people being bold enough to, in the face of that chaos, still send them love, because they too, it's that quote, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. And I just ended it with my friend. I said, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I said, it's unfortunate, but how are you? I can't imagine you just had this surgery and you're still allowing these type of wounds to still give you pain, because she's going, I just began to break things down for her, where I saw that was some healing for me as well. So
beautiful.
So I'd just like to speak into that about pain. That for some of us, we've had pain for so long, and we've become so used to the pain being there, that we carry on choosing patterns and situations that keep us in pain. It's like an old friend. And so that's just a bit of offering that it's in the subconscious. So for those who are wanting to go even deeper into it, is that as soon as you notice yourself in pain, just stop. What thoughts am I having? Okay, I'm having thoughts of pain. Can I change my thinking about this? Why am I feeling? And if you're wanting to delve deeper, it's like, why am I feeling this pain? Well, I'm feeling betrayed. I'm feeling let down. I'm feeling da-da-da. Okay, well, where does this stem from? So this is how we start healing the wounds, is by going into the wounds and finding out the origin of it. And in that point, most of the time, and this is what I've recently discovered I've been on a mammoth self-healing journey in the last few months, is that most of the time the pain is feeling separated from love. So the part of me that's in pain right now, okay, cool, there's a part of me that's feeling betrayed. Okay, well, I still love you, Dawn Penny. And I'm really sorry that this person has done this, but I'm not betraying you. I love you.
That's so perfect, right? So guys, I mean, we're in this conversation, we've really looked at all the angles of this process of feeling and healing. And cool, the moments present themselves, the feelings bubble up, we get to throw ourselves into them. Sometimes there's a very important learning, and sometimes it actually is just feel. So it's so beautiful, because it's our discerning dance, and to totally sixth sense it. When your instinct is saying, go a little bit deeper, go a little bit deeper. When the sixth sense is saying, I don't want to even know, I just want to cry, then cry. And just really honor every bit of process, and just know that you are absolutely held in this process. And I know the WhatsApp group is great, and we also have these webinar link ups. Let's just keep in comms. And if you're going through any form of feeling, joy, sadness, anger, have a little voice check-in, share with the group. Guys, I'm just taking a pause. I'm just dealing with my nickname right now. And then in that way, we can all be holding each other and supporting each other in that process. We're doing so well. We're at that midway power mark. Yes, this generally is the time where another layer can kind of open up. Be prepared to go a little bit deeper. Because remember, within breakdown is breakthrough. So if there's something there that's asking you to go into it, honor that, get in, create more space, and let the universe rush in so that you can have a bigger vessel. Okay, you are such beautiful human beings. It is an honor to take this journey with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Catch you on the other side, darlings.
We'll see you tomorrow at 9.
Tomorrow at 9, and planting a seed as well, just in advance. Wednesday in South Africa is a public holiday. So Wednesday will also be 9 o'clock, just so that people don't have to break up their day. Okay. Just, yeah, keep that in mind, and love you all, and
Have a beautiful day.
yeah, enjoy your day, your night, Harmony, wherever you are. Just enjoy it. Have fun. Ciao, darlings.